Until the 18th century, the countryside in England was open. The land around a village was used for cultivation. Each villager was allocated different strips of land to cultivate. This was decided at the beginning of a year in an annual public meeting. Though these strips of land were at different places, it ensured that each villager got a balanced mix of both good and bad quality of land. Another unique quality of the English countryside was the common land that lay beyond the agricultural strips of land. This common land was open to all villagers and was used for a variety of purposes like pastures for their cows, grazing their sheep, and for collecting fuel wood, fruits and berries. However, the landscape of England changed suddenly during the late 18th and early 19th centuries. Poor peasants were no longer allowed to enter the common land and carry out their activities for their livelihood. Furthermore, even the strips of land that were allocated for cultivation were taken over by the richer landlords and surrounded by private enclosures. Let's see what exactly changed the landscape of England so drastically. In the 16th century, the price of wool shot up. This was seen by the rich landlords as an opportunity to make profits. They wanted to increase their wool production, improve their sheep breeds, and provide a better feed for them. To do this, they needed large enclosed plots of land. So they started drawing up hedges around their lands to demarcate their property from those of the others. They also drove out people who had built small cottages on the common land and prevented anyone from entering their privately enclosed land. The enclosure movement caught speed in the late 18th century, and by 1850, 6 million acres of land was enclosed. Such a drastic change was stimulated by the rapid increase in population. This was also the age of industrialization in England. The demand for food grains increased to meet the needs of the large number of people who had moved to the urban areas to work in the industries. In addition, France went to war with England around the late 18th century, disrupting the import of food grains from Europe. Taking advantage of this higher demand for food, the rich landlords started a frenzy of enclosing lands for grain cultivation to make bigger profits. They demanded enclosure acts as the early enclosures were not supported by the government or the church. Eventually, after the mid-18th century, the Parliament passed 4,000 enclosure acts. The landscape and the agriculture system of England had changed completely, bringing fortunes for the rich landlords and misery for the poor peasants.